And now it is my pleasure to introduce Bernard George to be our speaker for today. And again, his bio is on the sheet that you have been handed, and so I'm not going to read that. But he is from the North Carolina African American Heritage Commission. So, Bernard George, if you would come forward, please.
Well, it's quite a tough act to follow. I've never followed Dr. King. So, whether I measure up or not, I guess I made it. Well, as I said, I'm Bernard Jordan from right down the road in New Bern, North Carolina. And I was at a program earlier where I gave a presentation on the U.S. colored troops. You know, Eastern North Carolina was the center of U.S. colored troop recruitment during the Civil War. I'll take that. Please, it's going to be a half a speech. And that's what the great historian John Hope Franklin said. We've got so much history here, and we have so much to be proud of. In fact, this year's Black History theme is African Americans and the Civil War. So there's something very close to my heart, including Dr. King. Let me tell you a little something about the North Carolina African American Heritage Commission. We were created by the North Carolina legislature in 2008, and we are a board made up of 10 appointed persons from across the state and 2 ex officio officers. Support is received from 1 staff member within the Department of Cultural Resources who serves as the acting director and is curator of multicultural initiatives for the Division of State Historic Sites and Properties. Launched in 2009, the African American Heritage Commission has been creating new partnerships and supporting programs to assist the Secretary of Cultural Resources in preserving, interpreting, and promoting African American history, arts, and culture, as it was legislatively mandated back in 2008. And I just want to applaud you here today. It brings me great joy to be present with you as you vision the future of Onslow County's African American heritage. The Chamber of Commerce has gone about the compelling work of listening to community needs, taking stock of heritage resources, and developing partnerships towards your newly defined vision, which is in many ways to transform and enrich people and the community by sharing Onslow County's African American history, arts, and culture. Residents from across the state share a desire to see young people engaged in knowing the intricate and dynamic story of African American history, culture, and development in the state. Heritage practitioners call for a time and a place to gather, to share resources, network, and develop professionally. Artists express a need for more ways to promote their work. The Commission, along with the Chamber of Commerce, will enrich the state of North Carolina and Onslow County by supporting workforce development of heritage practitioners, advocating for teaching the whole story in our school of our history, and promoting African American heritage resources as you're doing today. I sincerely thank you for joining us as we go about the work of transforming and enriching the lives of people and communities. I want to talk very briefly about the economic impact of tourism on our local economy. You know, and these are tough times today. And as we seek ways to strengthen our economies, our local economic base, we see heritage tourism as a natural way to go about that. You've taken a major step in increasing the economic input of tourism to Onslow County and Jacksonville. In addition to creating new jobs, new business, and higher property values, well-managed tourism improves the quality of life and builds community pride. According to a 2009 national research study on U.S. cultural heritage travel by Mandela Research, 78% of all U.S. leisure travelers participate in cultural and or heritage activities while traveling, translating to 108.3 million adults each year. Culture and heritage visitors spend on an average of almost $1,000 a trip compared to $600 for all other U.S. travelers. Perhaps the greatest benefit of cultural heritage tourism, though, are the diversification of local economies and the preservation of the community's unique character. In recent years, North Carolina has consecutively been named one of the top 10 states for cultural tourism. A study funded by the North Carolina Arts and Council, the Art for Traveler, Cultural Tourism in the state of North Carolina, provides a thorough overview of the impact of travelers' dollars within the state. And I'd like to talk just a bit about that study. The study shows how cultural events and hands-on activities are what fuel people to spend money in North Carolina. The emergence of U-Pick farms, outdoor theater, festivals, museums, heritage trails have helped to attain travelers' interest and has led to a surgency of job opportunities to North Carolina. I'm sure the same thing is going to happen here in Oslo County as you continue to develop the trails and diversify your tourist attractions. North Carolina's cultural tourists spend $102 per person per day, which far exceeds the national average of dollars spent per day per traveler. In North Carolina, cultural tourists spend, on an average, one night on a trip. Compared to all travelers, those who participate in cultural events pump more money into an area's economy. Again, cultural tourism makes good sense. It makes good dollars. Cultural tourism remains the fastest growing segment of the tourism industry. 81% of all travelers stop at a museum, take in a concert, or find other ways to enjoy the arts and their heritage. On an average, they schedule 5 cultural activities per trip. In 2004, North Carolina was named 8th among all states in culture and heritage tourism by the Travel Industry of America. Right now, it's about 9th. So with Oslo County's trail, and you'll continue to work, we're going to be up to 8 and then hopefully in the top 5 as we continue here in North Carolina, in eastern North Carolina, to mine the rich cultural tourism, the rich cultural history that African Americans have here. Tourists want to learn something new and hope to enrich their lives through cultural travel experiences. In North Carolina, nearly half of cultural tourists say the destination choice is influenced by activity. So people are not going to come to your area if there's nothing there to attract them. They will come here for cultural heritage trails, museums, events, and that's what we have to do here in eastern North Carolina in order to help store up our economy. Nearly 75% of the people who receive material about summer performing arts in North Carolina traveled exclusively for those arts events. Cultural heritage trails has been proven to be a sure draw for tourists. Heritage and cultural tourism may be as large as 40% of the leisure tourism sector. Hands-on experiences are key traveler motivators, such as arts weekends, cultural weekends, music and dance venues, and craft retreats. Cultural heritage travelers are much more likely to use the internet than other travelers. In 2004, domestic travelers spent $13.3 billion across this state. I'd like to see a major part of that come to eastern North Carolina. How about you? All right.